All right, now that the dust has settled from the NFL draft, it's created a pretty interesting outlook for the NFL in terms of how the divisions are going to lay out. Some good divisions got better, some good divisions got worse. We had some shitty divisions get even shittier. While these speculations are honestly way too early and we're probably going to be wrong about a lot of these, nonetheless, let's dig into it. Starting off with none other than the NFC East, or should I say the NFC Least. All right, so let's dig into this dumpster fire of a division. Justin, all right, so tell us a little bit about the NFC East and how we think they're going to look out this year.
I'm going to give a little credit to them. They are probably the most historic division in all football. Cowboys, Washington football team, Eagles, and New York Giants.
They're the only division in the NFL where every franchise has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
which says something. Which says something.
But let's look at it. I don't think one of those teams, I think only one team had a positive point differential. I think it was the Washington football team. That's insane. And on top of it, all these teams, okay, so the Giants had a good D, the Washington football team had a good D, and then the Cowboys and the Eagles are just absolute dumpster fires. The Cowboys have Dak, he's coming back, but that defense is absolutely gosh awful. So I just don't think they're going to do anything. They fired Mike Nolan, but I don't think
they have deep organizational issues as well.
Yeah, and the Washington football team the defense is good, but Fitz isn't the answer, and the running backs have been super underwhelming, so you don't really have an offense. The Eagles, yikes, dude, this team has no absolute direction whatsoever. Awful. They don't know what they're actually doing. I don't know if they know their actual identity or what they actually want to do. I think they're just going to put 11 guys on a field and see what happens. And then the Giants, honestly, I like the Giants the most out of this. I think Daniel Jones has something. They have a solid freaking defense, and they gave him some weapons. They went and got Galladay. They still have Darius Slate. Saquon's coming back. That line's suspect, but they also got Tony out of Florida in the end of the round. So I don't. Okay, it's going to be the same as last year, but they're still
at best. How many games do you see them winning?
Who?
The Giants.
7.
7.
It's 17 games. 8.
Yeah, with a healthy roster. Yeah. They're so that's probably the best team in that division, and they're still going to be below 500.
I agree with that. Yeah, they definitely.
It's that division was bad last year, and it didn't really get that much better.
No, it didn't get better at all.
If anything, in fact, a lot of these teams got in even worse situations.
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe the Washington football team had every chance to go and be like, hey, let's go trade and get a quarterback. Let's go get our guy. And the Eagles got Devontae Smith, but other than that, none of these guys really addressed any need. The Giants didn't, the Cowboys didn't. It was brutal.
Well, and a lot of them just, even if they did address needs, they have so many holes that they need to fill that it didn't even
matter because you had so many holes that it's you could take every position. You're
the Cowboys, Cowboys need an entire defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Need an entire defense.
I agree.
Micah Parsons is a start, but he's not the answer to all of your problems.
I agree. So now we're going to move on to the NFC North.
Which is a slightly less of a dumpster fire, but also kind of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly. So the Lions had a negative 140. So I'm going to stop there. That's fucking awful. That's really bad. That means they got...
Do you want to explain the point differential for people that don't...
yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah, so they got outscored by 140 points. So that means they got scored on 140 points more than they scored.
Yeah, if you were to add up all of their, scores, then yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So it's brutal. The Vikings, the defense was terrible last year.
So bad. And you want to talk about Kirk too?
Yeah, and dude, let's talk about it. The defense was terrible and Kirk Cousins can't carry this team. Dude, I don't think he's a great quarterback, but I think he's highly underrated. He threw 35 freaking touchdowns last year. Stop disrespecting this guy. He's been consistent over the last 5 years.
He gets a lot of disrespect.
Yeah, and he throws 4,000 yards a season. He throws very few picks. What do you want? Honestly, the Bears, we'll see. Their defense is good. They took Justin Fields, but I don't think Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are smart, so I don't think they're going to start Justin Fields. I think they're going to, sit there with
the fucking Andy Bears, Dalton. Dude. They're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, they're not smart. And they're just stupid, bro. Matt Nagy thinks he knows how to run an offense all by himself, and he doesn't. He's I'm going to just fit square pegs into round holes and then see if it works. It never fucking works. You've made the playoffs twice, and it's been embarrassing both times.
You put the square pegs in the triangle holes, actually.
And then with the Packers, it's the Packers. They'll win 12 games as long as Aaron Rodgers is still on the team. You know what I mean?
That's a major stipulation.
Yeah, and so with the Lions, the point differential was just so bad that, honestly, there was nothing there. The Vikings had a really bad point differential. They still finished 7-9. The Bears had a negative point differential. They were 8-8. The Packers absolutely crushed point differentials. They freaking blew it out of the water. And, as long as Aaron's there, they'll win.
That's a really good point. That's if Aaron is there, and which it kind of is looking like he probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a Chargers fan, gotta hope he doesn't go to the fucking Broncos. But we're not at the AFC West yet.
Yeah, nothing's developed enough for him to actually leave, I think, yet. Like, honestly, I just don't see him leaving yet. There's not enough traction in the trade talks.
Moving on to the AFC South, division where we have a couple franchises that have a semi-promising future, and then we have a couple that are just an absolute dumpster fire. So starting off with the Colts. So the Colts, I honestly see winning this division. The Colts, they had a pretty good point differential last year. Their defense was already a top 5 defense last year. And their defense, I think, got even better. They went and they got Kwity Paye, and then they on offense, they have Jonathan Stewart too. They got weapons, and Carson Wentz is going to be playing with Frank Reich. I would be more surprised if they were really bad than if they were good. They're not going to be bad. I don't think Carson Wentz is going to go MVP mode, but I think that I could see him being pretty solid.
I think Frank Reich's a good coach, and they have a good team around him.
Mm-hmm. Titans. I see them coming in second in this division. The Titans, they have Derrick Henry. He's amazing, but they're a one-trick pony. If you can shut down Derrick Henry, which given is not easy, then you shut down their entire team. Tannehill would be nothing without Derrick Henry.
And their whole thing was that they had a strong defense, and now their defense is awful. Mm-hmm. It's awful. I don't care what you say. I don't care the names you see on the roster. Their defense was bottom 5 last year. And
they also have like the 3rd hardest schedule in the NFL this year. So I see them winning 9 games maybe.
Contenders.
Yeah, and so it's not going to be. They might make the playoffs, but the AFC is going to be really good this year. So I don't really see that happening. Then we got the Jaguars. You guys get Trevor Lawrence, whatever, big fucking whoop. But the thing is Trevor Lawrence is about to see what losing is like, unfortunately.
I don't think Urban Meyer really understands how to build an NFL team.
No, it's not Ohio State. You can't just get whoever the fuck you want. He's like thinking that, I can just get guys to come to the elite Jacksonville Jaguars franchise.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're trying to get guys to go play for the Patriots.
No, and exactly. It's not like this is some storied franchise with a storied coach where it's like, we're going to bring Tebow in and he's going to just get all these yards. It's just like, dude, like you're making mistake after mistake. Like you hired that racist freaking strength coach and then you sign Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like.
It's like, don't even get us started on
Tim
Tebow.
Come on.
And honestly, and so that's the Titans or the Jaguars, excuse me. And then it's not even fair to talk about this last team, the Texans, but like the Texans might as well become an Arena Football League team at this point. I feel bad for Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor, he gets a golf tee shoved into his lung by the Chargers doctor. And then he gets replaced by Herbert. Herbert goes off, and then he gets traded to the biggest dumpster fire organization in the league. That's fucking rough. And so let's talk about the actual Texans, though. They have 4 quarterbacks on their roster right now. None of them are really that good. They got Tyrod Taylor. They traded 2 draft picks for Ryan Finley.
That team is awful.
Ryan Finley, okay, people watching this probably don't know who Ryan Finley is, and you shouldn't because he sucks.
No.
And then they have, I'm totally blanking out. And Jeff Driscoll, whoop. Yeah, big whoop. And then they get Davis Mills from Stanford, who's probably going to end up on the practice squad and is probably going to get cut. You know what I mean? It's
2 seasons.
It's bad. In 2 seasons, the Texans went from a promising franchise to the laughingstock of the NFL. So, hats off to you.
But now we get to talk about the NFC South, because this is actually really interesting because the NFC South has actually kind of been historically good over the last 5 to 6 years. You had the Atlanta going to the Super Bowl. Carolina went to the Super Bowl back in 2015. New Orleans is always dangerous. And Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl last year. So that's a historically good division over the last, couple of years. But let's go Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has reloaded. They are ready to go. They are honestly my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. They're very good. So I'm not really going to talk about it. They re-signed, Shaq Barrett. They brought back Lenny. They brought back a bunch of guys. Chris Godwin's still there.
And the media is going to be talking about them all year. So, you know what I mean? We're just going to move on.
Exactly. So let's talk about New Orleans. So we'll see how Jameis is. But the team's been kind of gutted. They've had to cut a lot of guys that would, you cut Emmanuel Sanders, you signed a 2-year deal, cut him after 1 year. It's like, dude, all right.
They didn't just cut some guys. They cut 8 guys that were Pro Bowlers.
They cut Jared Cook.
Dude, yeah.
Cook.
Are you a big Jared Cook fan?
Yeah, big Jared Cook fan.
Yeah.
But dude, I just think New Orleans, look, that defense was actually really good last year, and they still have some really good pieces. But I just think
Cam Jordan's getting old.
Yeah, it's interesting how they'll play. Honestly, I'm really concerned about them.
They're not. And
they're not exciting.
They're not trending.
I mean, Winston is exciting, but other than that, they're not exciting.
They're not an organization that's trending up.
Yeah, and let's talk about the Panthers too. The Panthers, they were freaking bad last year, and they were kind of frisky at the beginning of the year, but they're bad. They were bad at the end of the year. And Teddy Bridgewater was a big part of that. Like, he's very, mediocre quarterback. But, I mean, you went and got Sam Darnold.
He's a poor man's Alex Smith.
Yeah, and you went and got Sam Darnold, who, I mean, if he plays well, you could be really good. But if he plays like the way he plays, then you're going to fucking suck. So, I mean, CMC's back, but that line isn't great.
It's extremely speculative wishing.
Yeah, exactly.
If Darnold can play QB, then they're going to be good.
Yeah, but
that's a big if.
Yeah, it's a huge if. He's never done it. He's never done it successfully. Let's put it that way. He's never done it at a high level ever. So, then Atlanta. Atlanta's just a dumpster fire, dude. That defense is fucking brutal. It's so bad, and Matt Ryan's only getting older. Julio Jones only getting older. They lost Todd Gurley, which isn't anything, but you don't have anyone back there. That team's going to be bad. That team's going to be bad. Kyle Pitts will be really exciting to watch because of how dynamic he might be as a pass catching tight end. But other than that, dude, Atlanta's been a dumpster fire. They blow leads like nobody's business. It's insane how badly they blow leads.
They have a very unexciting offensive line.
They have a very unexciting O-line and complete defense. So
I honestly, I can't name a pass rusher that plays for the Falcons.
No, their defense is brutally awful.
So bad.
Yeah.
So I think the Falcons. I think it's safe to say that they're probably going to
finish
they're going to round out the division.
Gross.
All right, moving on to the AFC East. The AFC East. This is going to be a really interesting division because the AFC East I'm 26 years old. You're 26. For our entire lifetime, the AFC East has never been a competitive division, and now it is. Now, I think it's safe to say that the Bills are definitely going to be winning this division. The Bills, not only were they good last year, they were a couple pieces away from beating the Chiefs and going to the Super Bowl, honestly. Now they reloaded their defense. They got two really good pass rushers as their first and second round picks. And, what are these guys' names?
Gregory Rousseau and Carlos Basham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those guys are beasts. Gregory Rousseau out of Miami.
Freak.
And that was really their issue, is that they couldn't get to Patrick Mahomes. And so now they have that. And I mean, the only teams that I see being true roadblocks in the playoffs for the Bills are probably the Chiefs, maybe the Browns, and if they get to the Super Bowl, the Bucks. But that's not a lot of teams. And so if you can beat those teams, then and they have pieces that I think that can do that. So Bills they're gonna be great this year.
Bills are gonna be very good.
Yeah. The Dolphins, I think that they're gonna be the second best team in this division.
I agree.
Yeah. The Dolphins, they have a great coach. Tua, we're gonna see how he does, but their defense is absolutely loaded. They got weapons on offense. They got Will Fuller. They have a solid offensive line. They have the pieces for success that you could typically want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of young pieces, and honestly, they have an exciting coach, and I think they got a lot of talent.
Absolutely. Youth is very good in the NFL. And then I think this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think the Patriots are going to be finishing third in this division because, in the NFL, everyone knows this. You need a quarterback to win. I love Cam Newton, but I don't see him doing it.
No.
People are saying, "Oh, he was good before COVID." He threw 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, it's like season. 4 picks.
It was
what are you talking about? Good,
dude. It's if he we're gonna see this year because now they have some weapons. If they're still bad this year, then we're gonna know that Cam's no more.
Exactly.
And it's okay, we're gonna hand the ball off to Sam Jones, or Mac Jones. I mean, yikes! Yeah, what is Sam Jones? Yeah. But Mac Jones.
Who?
Bro, imagine Mac Jones going up against that Bills D-line. In Buffalo now because they're just going to be fans now. There's going to be fans now.
Buffalo fans are nice, though.
But
they're kind. They donate to charities.
That's a hard place to play, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hard place to play, though. Yeah, it's cold, it's loud, and the people get really into the game and stuff. I don't see them being better than the third best team.
I agree.
And then the Jets. Okay, you're going to be slightly less of a dumpster fire this year. Good fucking job, Oops, I absolutely hit my mic stand. Sorry, guys. But they're not going to be that great. I like like Saleh as their head coach. You know, like Saleh's a good coach, but you know, you guys got Zach Wilson as your as your quarterback this year, and like he was, you know, he's good at BYU, but like you guys are literally just doing Groundhog Day with what you guys just did with Sam Darnold.
He looks like if Johnny Manziel didn't know what alcohol or cocaine was.
That's a really good, yeah. If he found that, he would go down the Johnny Manziel route just immediately.
Bro, I can't wait, honestly. Like, that kid has been, like, sitting in fucking Provo, Utah, like, just sheltered his whole... I just can't wait. It's going to be a wake-up call.
That picture of... I think he was standing next to Jamar Chase in the draft. Yeah. It was so funny. He's just looking at him. Looks so uncomfortable. And it's like, okay, welcome to diversity. Yeah, I know you're not really used to this, but
yeah, I agree.
This is how the NFL is. All right, so that's the AFC East. Moving on to my division, the AFC West. This division's going to be interesting because this division I find to definitely be pretty top-heavy. The Chiefs, I feel like, here's the thing. I think they are moving sideways, but moving sideways for the Chiefs is going to the Super Bowl again. So, like, you know. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, you know no, we made some, we had to reload.
Yeah.
Go get a Pro Bowl right tackle.
Like, because I don't think they got better, but they're still amazing.
Yeah.
The Chiefs still have one of the most dynamic offenses that the NFL has literally ever seen.
Yeah, they're going to be absolutely incredible still.
They still have Andy Reid.
Too much talent. Patrick Mahomes still too good.
They still have Patrick Mahomes. Here's the thing. I think that, you know, because they signed a couple good O-linemen, but they lost more good O-linemen than they gained. But my question I wanted to ask you is, what do you think the Super Bowl outcome would have been like if Patrick Mahomes had a healthy O-line? Do you think it would have been different?
I don't think honestly, I do not think the win-loss would have been different. I think the score would have been different, but I think the Bucs would have crushed them.
You think so?
I think Tom Brady, yeah. Like,
he was out for
I'll
blood.
do a whole video on that. Yeah, I think that guy has
Tom's out for fucking blood right now.
Yeah, well, no, I think that guy has superpowers.
No, dude, he's literally like that's why they drafted what's his face, Kyle Trask, so they can just suck the youth out of him.
Yeah, he just directly hooked up to like there's like, you know, when you see like, if you've ever seen like Mad Max movies, when they have those like they have Mad Max like hooked up to like the Half-Lives, that's what it is. It's just a fucking direct vein to vein from Kyle Trask to Tom Brady as he just sucks the fucking youth out of him.
And it's like, Kyle, we're going to set you up for life financially, but you're going to look old now because Tom has it, because we want Tom to play till he's 100. Yeah. But anyways, we're sidetracking. And so the Chiefs, they're going to win this division. They're unless somehow the Chargers can be really, really good, which I think they're going to be better, but I don't think they're going to be Chiefs good.
Broncos will suck and the Raiders will suck.
So the Chargers, the Chargers are going to be, they're trending very much up right now. The only thing that can really hold them back is injuries, knock on wood, because that's held them back many, many, many times in the past. I have a lot of faith in Brandon Staley. I think he's really, really smart. I've looked at the Chargers schedule, and a lot of the games that I had hesitations about, Brandon Staley absolutely dominated last year with the Rams. And so this team's going to be good. You know, we got Rashawn Slater. We got guys to protect Herbert. We got the best center in the league now. We got Asante Samuel Jr. I'm confident the Chargers are going to, like, I'd see them, if everything goes great, I see them winning like probably 12 games. If everything goes horribly, I see them winning like 7 or 8. You know
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And so, but moving on to the Raiders, the Raiders, like, I'm a Chargers fan, and the Raiders still frustrate me. You know what I mean?
Honestly, honestly, this is what we should just say about the Raiders. They just keep doing Raider things, man. They reach in drafts. They don't have a defense.
You hit that on the head, yeah.
It's just like, it's ineptitude. And like at this point, you just think you're doing something that everyone else doesn't understand, but what you're really doing is just stupid shit.
That's the best way of putting it. Yeah, you think you know something that people don't know. That's why they go and get guys like Alex Leatherwood in the first round, who's a guy that they could have, he could have fallen to the 3rd round, really. You could have used a 3rd round pick on Alex Leatherwood, and he's an okay tackle, but no, he was not someone you should have gotten in the 1st round. Like, and then you guys draft 3 fucking safeties. You guys want to talk Raider things? This is Raider shit. You guys need everything else on defense. You guys, okay, you have Crosby, who's a good pass rusher, but you guys need a corner. Oh my God. Like, you're like you can literally just go on YouTube and look at all the corners getting absolutely torched on the Raiders.
Absolutely.
It's bad. And then they get 3 safeties when they already have 2 good safeties. It's just, that's like John Gruden being like, yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, like, hey, Glennon. Guys like that. And mind you, this team, if they get Aaron Rodgers, will be really good and will not be the last place team. But currently, they do not have Aaron Rodgers, so I have them as the last place team. In the AFC West, they had not the worst draft, but definitely not the best. They didn't answer the questions that they needed to answer. And they have good weapons on offense, but their defense is aging. They don't have an awesome head coach. It's like I don't really see, and you get Teddy Bridgewater. He's like a slight improvement.
Most boring team in the league.
He's a slight improvement from Drew Lock.
This is such a boring team.
This is going to be a shitty ass team to watch. But hopefully they don't. Well, okay. Also on top of it, Teddy. The Broncos have weapons, but who else had weapons? The fucking Panthers and the fucking Saints. And Teddy wasn't that great with those teams either. And so the Broncos are going to suck.
Agreed.
Moving on to the AFC North. This is going to be, this division's fucking gross. This is a really good division. The Browns, this is the most complete team in the NFL by leaps, bounds, and miles. They really don't have a position on their team that is like a true yikes morning spot. If they had, a perennial quarterback, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's bad. He's definitely a top 12-ish quarterback. I wouldn't put him in the top 10 quite yet, but he can win you games.
I agree.
But it's just that, with a quarterback like that, the rest of the team needs to be on their A game if you're going to beat a Patrick Mahomes. That's just, Baker Mayfield's not going to do Patrick Mahomes things.
I agree, but they do have the best running game in football.
Dude, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, that's absolutely disgusting. They have a good offensive line. Bro, they got Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper. They were better when OBJ went down. This team is really, really good. And their defense is filthy. They already have Myles Garrett, Malik Jackson, Denzel Ward. And then they got, I'm going to struggle with these guys' names. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. And then Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern, who's a really good corner. So, and corner is one of those positions that young guys typically contribute immediately.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a team that's going to be good. Moving on, the Ravens are also pretty interesting too, because, say what you will about Lamar Jackson, bro, he's a top 10 quarterback. Dude, Lamar's good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Always good.
Yeah. Lamar's a good quarterback. People because don't get me wrong, his best skill isn't necessarily his passing, but he's a damn good passer. And now he is a good receiving threat in Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. And on top of it, their rush attack with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins is fantastic.
Yeah.
And, this is going to be a good team. Steelers, they didn't draft particularly well. I have them as my third team in the AFC North, but thing is, they're still the Steelers.
And the AFC North is still really good.
Yeah, they're still the Steelers, and I see them. I don't see them being contenders, but I see them being above 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I see them being a 9 or 10 win team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I see them winning. Yeah, and so, but they're not going to be 10-0 like they were last year.
No, definitely not. I think Big Ben's going to break everything.
That in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Ben. There's only so many days of drinking IPAs and eating steak and potatoes every night that your body can handle.
Yeah, and then you got the Bengals. So.
And here's the thing with the Bengals is they don't have an offensive line to block Joe Burrow. But by some miracle, if they were able to, then this would be a pretty good team.
This could be a good team.
But they don't have those pieces. And so it's super wishful thinking. But if you guys can get someone to block for Joe Burrow, you guys are going to be good. Joe Burrow, with the right pieces, he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to do that. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, that's how I see it. I see it going Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals for that.
And let's talk about our number one division, the NFC West. So the reason why this is the best division.
What a nightmare to play in this division.
Yeah, it's a hands down, it makes sense. So San Francisco was in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Seattle has a Super Bowl in the last 6 years. LA Rams been in the Super Bowl in the last 6 years. And Arizona has a ton of talent. So let's start with the Rams. The Rams are going to be better than last year because they acquired Stafford. I think their defense is going to be just as good, but I think their offense is going to be even better. And I think McVay is going to be able to do more of what he wants to do. And I think also Cam Akers is going to have another year. I think he'll have a breakout year and he'll be a beast. Then let's get to Arizona. This team is actually the most upsetting because it is so talented, but Cliff Kingsbury is pissing talent away because the guy has clock management.
Like, do you see Arizona finishing second in this?
No.
Okay, because that's how we're doing this. Like,
oh,
I mean?
no,
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. I see them as fourth for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was going to say because I had them in fourth as well.
No, Arizona's going to suck.
Comparatively to the NFC West.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. Yeah, the Arizona's going to be super talented, but Cliff Kingsbury isn't a good coach and he's going to limit his team. I just think like with the way his positions it, like he plays clock management and the way he handles like crunch time situations, I don't think he's a good head coach. Maybe he's a great offensive coordinator, but he should not be calling timeouts. He shouldn't be making plays. Yeah, he shouldn't be putting people in.
He's a pretty face.
Yeah, then we'll have, San Francisco, I have finishing third. I think it's a rebound year for them. They went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago with one of the best defenses. Their defense is going to be way healthier this year. And I think Trey Lance is honestly going to play early and often.
They're going to have Deebo Samuel back.
Yeah, and honestly, they're going to have Nick Bosa back. They're going to have Arik Armstead full health. Like, that defense is going to be fully healthy.
Kittle's great.
Kittle's really great. I think, honestly, that defense is going to come back and play with a vengeance. And I think they're going to be really good because I think Shanahan's a great coach, and I think they finally got their guy, that they got the hand pick. And I think they were really excited about that because once they got the hand pick someone, they were like, okay, well, like, then let's really find out what we want. And so they went and they found out like all the traits they wanted in a quarterback. Kyle Shanahan found that.
Well, an ideal scenario for the Niners is if they were able to get Jimmy G to accept his likely role as a mentor for Trey Lance.
Absolutely, but
because Shanahan can make anyone good. If you can have like a mentor, like I mean Jimmy G, I don't see him doing that because I think he has a giant ego. But if that were a thing that could happen, Trey Lance could be pretty good. And so, like, don't get me wrong. He's like having a 20-year-old quarterback in the NFL frightens me a lot.
Absolutely.
Because like, I'm sorry, like, there's not a 20-year-old male on this planet that has like half a brain. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
we're 26 and we're stupid.
I mean, we're still stupid. And so, like I couldn't imagine starting for a team in the NFC West right now, bro. Can you imagine? He's gonna be running from Aaron Donald twice a year.
He's 20.
What a fucking nightmare! I would blow my brains out.
Well. Yeah, but the guy running from Aaron Donald more is going to be Russell Wilson. So
that's true.
Let's talk about that. The O-line is still bad. It's still bad. How is it still bad? It's been 6 years since you won the Super Bowl. It was bad then. It's still bad.
He's never had a good O-line.
Dude, they suck. They suck so hard. And they draft high offensive line, like Justin Britt, second round. They draft Jermaine Ifedi, first round. They draft guys in like the first, second, third round. And then they always suck. Dude, draft better.
I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand it. You guys have Russell Wilson, who's like not only is he definitely a top 5, he's probably a top 3 or a top 2 quarterback.
Yeah, he's definitely top 3 or top 2.
He's amazing. He's so fucking good. And he's just like, get me an O-line. Get me an O-line. We have weapons. Get me an O-line. We're going to win Super Bowls. And they don't do it. I don't get it. And I'm just like, this seems like a no-brainer from a GM situation. Go get, Orlando Brown. From the Ravens. Why not? They weren't in a bad cap space situation.
No.
What are you doing? Like Russell Wilson is a franchise guy. Yeah, he's fast and he can run from these fucking guys, but do you think he wants to do that?
There's like several guys on the free agent market, like Mitchell Schwartz and shit right now that are like free agents that are solid players, Morgan Moses, that they're just like, yeah, no, we're good with what we got. It's like, no, you're not. Everyone knows you're not. You know you're not. Like, what are you not seeing?
They're like, hey, Russ, are you still faster than Aaron Donald? Okay, we don't need a lineman. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's going to be interesting. I think that while, this is all speculative and there's things that are probably going to change, I think this is honestly a pretty accurate layout of how these divisions are going to lay out.
Yeah, I think it'll be
who knows
close.
If I don't know if we're going to be right about which teams are, first through fourth and stuff, but
yeah.
I think, honestly, I would bet a lot of money that the NFC East is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. They're going to get fucking dog walked by every team in the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be so
bad.
And
the NFC West, honestly, is going to beat the shit out of each other. And
NFC
then anyone
West,
else
bro.
The NFC West.
Dude, NFC West.
That's what we're going to call them from now on.
Dude,
NFC
fuck
West.
yeah. We're totally going to call
NFC
that.
West. But honestly, it's going to be a good season. We're really excited about these conferences. I'm not excited about my team, but I am excited about some of the other talent in the league.
I'm very excited about my team. It's going to be a good season. All right. Well, thank you for watching our rankings of the NFL divisions. This was a lot of fun. Check us out on our Instagram, our Twitter, our Spotify, and we got a Facebook page. We're official as fuck here at Arm Trick Coaches. Thank you.